Agatha All Along, episode 7, recap and review, instant reaction, because we just watched it and
Whew.
thanks for checking out another episode of Watch Stuff with us. I'm JD.
I'm Katie.
And we are going to give our instant reaction to the episode 7 of Agatha All Along that we just watched with you guys. If you are new to our channel, please hit the like button and the subscribe button.
Yes.
Hit the notification bell so that you can be notified each and every time we go live. And drop a comment below if you're watching this after the fact, or if you're watching it right now, drop that comment right now, because we are going to air your comments live after we talk just a little bit. Some of the notes, I took a few notes, not a lot, but I took a few. It was very interesting at the beginning of the episode that they discussed if Wanda was really dead or not. And I liked how Agatha was kind of like nonchalant with it, like, yes, no, maybe. Like, yeah, I think we all know that Wanda isn't dead, but they haven't revealed how she's going to come back. I don't know if we're going to get that in the show or not, but I'm hoping we are. But at some point, she's going to be back. So they definitely opened the door there, because I look at it like people who don't normally watch all these shows, if they just watch Multiverse of Madness and that was the only movie that they watched, they saw Wanda die as the tower collapsed on her. So they probably thought like, oh, she's really dead. But then they're kind of filling in now that
she's coming back.
She's not dead. She'll be back. Second hot take and reaction from episode 7 of Agatha All Along.
Mm-hmm.
Lilia and the way she experiences time. So we watched a Screen Crush episode before we broke down this video, or before we broke down the episode, and it sort of talked about how they were theorizing that the way she viewed time was sort of everything everywhere all at once. It was also talked about on a different channel that I watched too, and they compared it to Desmond from Lost. If anybody has watched Lost, he sort of like time slipped is what they think they called it, but like he experienced things like back to back. It wasn't in chronological order. It was just sort of like this was happening and that was happening. And I know during the episode, at least initially, I felt really bad about Lilia and how much of a struggle that had to be for her when she was having those episodes and events.
No, I feel bad for her. Like, that had to be such a hard life to continually be bouncing back and forth, to feel like you have no control over it, to feel like you're kind of insane, have other people think you're a little insane, and not quite know why all of that is happening. But I don't know. At the end, yeah, you said it seemed like she found some peace, and that was good. But still wish she didn't have to go out.
Our third instance, or at least my third note that I had while watching episode 7 of Agatha All Along, was that Lilia's role is to see and not do anything about it. So I was thinking that as we were watching, and I'm like, maybe that is her role, is to just see things and not sort of act on them. But that was changed up by the end of the episode, because she was acting on things and actively sort of influencing and changing the future. Like the things that she said to each of them as they left that room, like all those things are going to come into play later on in the show. So,
and she knew she wasn't going to remember some of it anyway, so she tried to get it out while she could.
And she knew that she was going to die. Like she knew that her end was coming. And to see her initially feel as though she knows these things, but she's not supposed to really do anything about it, and sort of like be a passenger to taking on a different role as the episode crept along, and her like saying, okay, well, I know these things, and since I know them, I'm going to try to influence things and tell people the things they need to hear. Now, my question is this: even though she told them those things, is she 100% accurate all the time? I need to go back and rewatch the episode, because I want to look and see if any of the visions that they showed us in this episode are different from what we saw when they happened initially. because then that means that she isn't a she isn't perfect on what she's doing. So like
Right.
she's not able to see everything perfectly. Like it'd be awesome if she did. And I'm
Yeah.
leaning towards that being the case, that it was she's 100% accurate. But what if she isn't? What if she was seeing something, or since she decided to start telling these things and her own influence was changing things? So
Could be.
man, like super deep,
It
like
is deep. It's really deep.
really enjoyed this one, and I cannot wait to go back and watch like different breakdowns and stuff.
Yeah.
And we will do that with you guys next week too. So make sure you're back here for the series finale, probably, because I don't know if there's going to be a second season of this, but make sure you come back next week, 6:30 p.m.
Yeah.
On Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
finally, um another thing that I had written down was that she calls them gaps, which I thought was an interesting way of talking about it. So I wonder, does she mean that there are gaps in time or gaps in her physical memory?
It could be both.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of both. And I don't know if they let us know that 100%, like which way it is, but just seeing the way that she views time.
I feel like I'd probably call them glimpses as opposed to gaps, because yeah, they are parts of time, but you are like getting an insight to what's going to happen, as opposed to like missing something. You still have the pieces, they're just not in the right order.
Yeah. What is her life like in between the gaps? Like, is she constantly moving across time, or does she have like episodes of moving across time?
And
Like,
she said she had stopped it too. She had blocked it out for a long time as well. So.
right. So I guess maybe that was when she just lived her life. That's a good point.
Yeah.
She didn't accept
Sorry.
she she didn't accept that the gift that she had was something that was positive for her.
Right.
So she just kind of ignored it, and I guess forced it to the back of her mind, and maybe that's when she lived her life. And it wasn't. Maybe that's also why she lost her powers,
Could be because she was trying
to suppress them.
Yep. Yep. Keep him away.
Yep. And
Aww.
maybe she sort of like fully got her powers back at the end, and then from there she was able to
I liked
show
her,
them
but I
and
feel like she did not live a content, fulfilled
peaceful
life.
life. Yeah.
Yeah, not until like the very last maybe hour of her
Yeah.
life. She
Yeah.
didn't have it all put together until then.
So yeah, my final thought on the episode is more of a question. Where do we go from here? What's left for us to see? Lilia's gone, Sharon's gone, um, Alice is gone. So we have Jen left
Jen, I
along
feel like
with,
Jen will be next episode.
yeah, definitely, definitely. And they were saying that she Lilia pulled the card that said the path ahead, and it was for Jen. So whatever's gonna happen in that next episode is gonna be about her. Obviously she's gonna die. Don't really know how, but she's gonna die. But where is that gonna lead the rest of the show? Like what's left for us to get to? We need to get Agatha her powers back, or see if she's gonna get her powers back. And we also need to determine whose purpose is it for them to be on the road. Like it's hard to say, but like, is it really for Agatha, or is it for Billy? Like, who's going to be the sole survivor? Because Agatha said she came back. To me, it would be fitting that in the last episode, Agatha sacrifices herself for him, so that he can go on.
I feel like he's gonna be the last one standing.
Yeah, I feel like that too.
But they all might come back in a way.
And then
I'm still holding out hope that the rest are going to be able to return.
Yep. And then, maybe like the show is titled, it was Agatha all along. Like she was the purpose, or she was the boost that he needed. Yeah, man, it's great episode. Please, please, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment below, hit all the buttons, and let us know what you think of the episode and what you thought, and where do you think the show goes from here? That's my big question. So please let us know. I'm JD.
I'm Katie.
And we appreciate you for watching some stuff with us. Peace.